Gracias. We are Familia Torres Peña, and we appreciate this opportunity to sing because familia es importante, family is important. And I hope you have a good time. We always do have a good time when we play music. Thank you for the invitation.
Yo quiero luz de luna para mi noche triste, para cantar divina la ilusión que me trajiste, para sentir de mía, mía tú como ninguna. Pues desde que te fuiste no he entendido luz de luna. Pues desde que te fuiste no he entendido luz de luna. Yo siento tus amarras como garfios, como garras que me ahogan en la playa de la para y el dolor. Y siento tus cadenas arrastrar en la noche callada, blesa no nada, azul como ninguna. Pues desde que te fuiste no he entendido luz de luna. Pues desde que te fuiste no he entendido luz de luna. Si ya no vuelves nunca, Rosanita mía, amiga y querida, que esté triste y está fría, poneros tu recuerdo, ponga luz sobre mi bruma. Pues desde que te fuiste no he entendido luz de luna. Pues desde que te fuiste no he entendido luz de luna. Y yo siento tus amarras como garfios, como garras que me ahogan en la playa de la para y el dolor. Y siento tus cadenas arrastrar en mi noche callada, que se ha perdido nada, azul como ninguna. Pues desde que te fuiste no he entendido luz de luna. Pues desde que te fuiste no he entendido luz de luna.
We want to thank, again, everyone for being here. Thank our sponsors, of course, Comcast and U.S. Bank and Telemundo. And a lot of them are here. Let's have a hand for our sponsors. They're all here this evening. Yeah, this is, of course, we were mentioning this is our 21st year of La Familia. It's about Hispanic Heritage Month. There's a lot to celebrate, but there's a lot of work to do also. I think we can agree on that. In 1 second, we'll have Colombia Live. Then right after that, we're going to have the awards presentations. Thank you very much.
Chepuya is a great success where Colombian Caribbean folklore is demonstrated. This is an adaptation of the puya where the African puya and the indigenous puya are mixed, forming a perfect balance between singing, drums, bagpipes, and accordion. The dancers must have a frenetic movement in the shoulders and hips and a graceful inclination of the chest and waist produced by the effort they make when dancing.
Cuando vuelva Maquerule, su mujer se fue con otro. Póngale la mano. Póngale la mano. Póngale la mano. Pero póngale la mano. Póngale la mano. Póngale la mano. Póngale la mano pa' que sude Maquerule. Candelario, coger el pan. ¿Cuál pan? El que tiene este niño. Maquerule amasa el pan y lo vende de contado. Maquerule ya no quiere que su pan sea fiado. Póngale la mano al pan, Maquerule. Póngale la mano al pan, pa' que sude. Póngale la mano al pan, Maquerule. Póngale la mano al pan, pa' que sude. Pim, pom, pam, Maquerule. Pim, pam, pum, pa' que sude. Pim, pom, pam, Maquerule. Pim, pam, pum, pa' que sude. Mamacita. El grupo Bahía con toda la sabrosura, mamá. Suavecito, suavecito, mamá. Póngale la mano al pan, Maquerule. Póngale la mano al pan, pa' que sude. Póngale la mano al pan, Maquerule. Póngale la mano al pan, pa' que sude. Pim, pom, pam, Maquerule. Pim, pam, pum, pa' que sude. Pim, pom, pam, Maquerule. Pim, pam, pum, pa' que sude.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you. And we want to start our awards program. I think that the evening so far has been amazing. You're an amazing audience. I want to thank our sponsors again, Comcast, U.S. Bank, Telemundo, Minnesota. How about a hand for our sponsors? Thank you. We want to begin our awards here with asking State Commander Trinidad Uribe to come and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Trinidad?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful. Thank you, my friend. Well, thank you, everyone. And we really want to start our awards program tonight with honoring our AMVETs, our Latino American veterans. The history of Latinos serving our country in the time in peace and war is a legacy of the Latino community and their commitment to protect and defend the freedom of the United States. I know most of the members of the group. They were born and raised on the west side of St. Paul, right across the river. This is a group that was started decades ago, and they host their meetings at the iconic neighborhood house over on the west side. But I think one of the wonderful accomplishments of AMVETS was they wanted to have a memorial for Latinos, and they went and found sponsors. U.S. Bank was one of the sponsors, by the way, and working with planning, state planning, and working along with the state, they were able to build the Plaza de Honor. How about a hand for this beautiful plaza, ladies and gentlemen? It's on Harriet Island. And I'm thinking that was one of the accomplishments that they're very proud of and we are very proud of. And tonight I have a special honor. We have Colonel Eduardo Suarez with the Minnesota National Guard. He's the first director of communications in the Guard history here in Minnesota. So I'm inviting Eduardo Suarez to come up and say a few words about the military and the Latino military in particular. How about a hand for Colonel Eduardo Suarez?
Hey, thank you, Rick. And ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, veteranos, it's a real honor to be here tonight to highlight the remarkable contributions of our Latinos who have served and continue to serve this nation and the military. And Rick, thank you for really supporting the military, the National Guard. I mean, really, I want to thank you, Rick, for helping me understand my place as a veteran, as a Latino serving. So thank you for that. Also, thank you for lifting those stories up through his publications and giving us a platform to tell the story of those that serve and wear the uniform every single day. So really appreciate that. It's really important to remember the legacy of bravery and resilience and the sacrifice woven into the fabric of our history that makes our nation what it is today. Their service has really strengthened not only our military, but our entire nation. Latinos have a long, proud history of answering the call from duty from the Battle of Bunker Hill to the trenches of World War I, to the beaches of Normandy, the mountains of Afghanistan, and the deserts of Iraq. Their courage has been unwavering. It's estimated that 250,000 to 500,000 Latinos served in World War II, and 17 of those were awarded the Medal of Honor, which is our nation's highest military decoration. Their valor is not just a testament to their personal courage, but a reflection of the values they hold dear: duty and honor, love of this country, and La Familia. My father served in the Air Force during the Korean War, and his brother, my uncle, served in World War II, and he's 97 and still living and driving today. And you would think that after 35 years of service, I would look back and maybe credit their service as an inspiration for me to join the military, but it wasn't. It was my mom. My mom thought that maybe I had a different calling in life, and it was really through her decisions that brought me to the military. And that's a whole nother story, but I think the story of what I want to share today is why I serve. It's because I deeply appreciate and cherish the freedoms we have here in America. And I've gained that appreciation over the years of traveling, my many deployments, and I want to protect those freedoms, and I want to protect them for La Familia as well. Today, Latinos continue to serve in every branch of the military, playing critical roles, ensuring our national security. They bring different perspectives, bilingualism, cultural awareness. You don't have to look too far to find that. You can look right here at the table that I came from. My own colleagues here to serve Minnesota Guard. Just the faces and experiences so diverse. I mean, I'm so proud of that. And look at our AM vets and their service as well. It's right here in Minnesota, right under our noses. The assets that I just mentioned enhance our armed forces, the ability to operate effectively in complex global environments. And you all know today's environment globally is so complex and it's so challenging right now. In an increasingly interconnected and multicultural world, the skills and insights Latino service members are more valuable than ever. But their impact extends beyond the battlefield. These women and men come from and return to our communities. They are here in St. Paul, they're across Minnesota. where their service inspires others and strengthens the bonds that hold us together. When Latinos serve, they bring home the value of discipline, leadership, resilience, and a sense of community that enriches our neighborhoods. Their contributions remind us that patriotism comes in many forms and that our military reflects the diverse, multicultural society that we're proud to be part of, one they're willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to defend. Their service is more than a point of pride for the Hispanic community. It's a vital part of what makes America strong. It reminds us that our strength as a nation lies in what we have in common. When people of all backgrounds and cultures come together to protect our freedoms, we are stronger and we are more united, better prepared to face the challenges of the future. So as we honor the women and men who have worn the uniform, past and present, let us remember the profound impact Latinos have had in our military and our nation. Their contributions matter not only to defend this great nation, but to the communities we live in. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to bring up at this time Trinidad Uribe Jr., again, State Commander of the AMVETS, to accept the award on behalf of these amazing veterans. In recognition of your outstanding efforts to promote the contributions of Mexican-American veterans and their lifelong dedication to the United States of America. Also to the individual members and their devotion to their families, friends, and community. Therefore, with the appreciation and respect of the Latino community in Minnesota, this commendation is presented to AMVETS Post 5, Mexican-American veterans. Trinidad, congratulations, my friend.
On behalf of AMVETS Post 5, we accept your award here. Thank you, and we also would like to give you a special thanks for all the hard work that you do and dedication that you have for the West Side
Thank you.
community.
Thank you. Can we get a photo,
Thank
Rico?
you.
What'd you get over there, Trinidad?
Can we give them a round of applause?
Good. Well, thank you. Thank you. Trinidad. Ed, thank you. Well, each year at our annual celebration, we are pleased and honored to thank our peace officers, our military, and our peace officers. And I think we can all agree, our way of life depends on the protection our peace officers provide us. These past years, we have seen a rise in crime that has put our peace officers in more danger than ever. Our Latino peace officers throughout our country and here in Minnesota have stood up to the challenge and answered the call to duty. Also, in the last few years, we have seen Latinos rising in the ranks within their police departments, some of them making state history. So tonight, we are pleased to honor Pilar Jimenez Steyer, who is the chief of police of LeSueur, Minnesota. She's the first Latina to rise to that rank in the long history of Minnesota. And I want to read an article that was in the Henderson Independent newspaper, and they reported the swearing-in ceremony. And the title of the article, Trooper to Trailblazer. New LeSueur Police Chief Pilar Steyer makes history as Minnesota's first Latina police chief. The American dream is real and alive for Belle Plaine resident Pilar Steyer, who was sworn in as the LeSueur police chief, making her the first Latina police chief in Minnesota history. Minnesota Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jackson called Chief Steyer a trailblazer who has overcome many challenges to realize this dream. Strong people, strong leaders overcome the challenges that they face and they reap the rewards. We are all reaping the reward for you, Chief Steyer, Commissioner Jackson said. While Steyer's position as the state's first female Latina police chief was stressed and celebrated, for Steyer it is a relation of a dream she has held since she was a young gal in Argentina. She felt the calling to be a peace officer at a young age, and when her family immigrated to the United States when she was 15, it opened doors for her to pursue her dream. If I would have stayed in Argentina and gone into law enforcement, I would have been a traffic officer or a jailer, because those were the only two roles females would go down there and get. Chief Steyer said. Instead, she was able to get a degree in law enforcement from MSU Mankato and serve in various leadership roles during her 21-year tenure with the Minnesota State Patrol. Prior to her appointment as LeSueur's police chief, she had a career as a background investigator, field training officer, instructor, recruiter, staff officer, and commercial vehicle inspector. And I think she was on the board of the Police Officers Standing and Trainers since 2020. During her tenure as a trooper, I have personally witnessed Pilar working with Spanish-speaking crime victims, showing compassion to them and building rapport with them. Minnesota State Captain Gene Szymanski said during Monday's ceremony, through this interaction, she has given a voice to victims while ensuring the accountability to those who take advantage of the disadvantaged. So tonight, here at La Familia, we are very proud to have Police Chief Steyer with us and receiving the La Familia Latino Heritage Award. Chief, please. In recognition for representing law enforcement with the utmost honor and dignity, making the city of LeSueur safe for all. Also for your amazing effort of rising through the ranks of the LeSueur Police Department, becoming the chief of police, the first Latina in LeSueur and Minnesota history to obtain this rank. You are a source of pride. Therefore, with the appreciation and respect of the Latino community in Minnesota, this commendation is presented to Pilar Jimenez Steyer, Chief of Police, the City of LeSueur, Minnesota. Congratulations.
Thank you. I need to shake your hand.
Yeah, we'll get a photo of you.
Well, I had a whole speech ready, but Rick took half of my speech, so just talking about myself. But no, I just really wanted to thank everybody for the honor. It really is an honor, not just for myself, but just for the community that has supported me every step of the way. Like Rick said, I'm from Argentina, and we came when I was 15 years old, and obviously it wasn't my choice. And that's something that our parents just said, this is where we're going and for a better life. And that's what they assumed. It was going to be a better life for us, and certainly was. And everything that we take for granted when we're little, we realize that when we're older. They didn't take into account the cold winters. They kind of figured we were going to get used to it, and we did. I do love ice fishing, and I love that first snow. That one, that first snow. I love it, that first one. They didn't really care that we didn't speak English because they figured that we would learn it, and we did. We figured it out. They made the tough choice of leaving family behind, knowing that we were going to find a different family here, and we did. And that family is the community, the people that are helping us, the churches, schools, and in every step of the way, I've been supported by different group of people. And I never really appreciated that until I myself felt like I became a mentor and that I could help other people. Representation is so big, and it is huge for law enforcement too. Representation gives value. It gives pushes away stereotypes, and it really makes you think, yeah, I can be that. So that has been huge for law enforcement. It has been huge for me to make that step and say, I'm here, so you can get here as well. So that's been huge. I do have to take a second to thank my family that is here today. My daughter Annika, you can just wave because I know that you like the attention. My mother-in-law and father-in-law, Beverly and Manley, and my husband Terry, thank you so much for the support. I thought you were gonna stand up and wave. Terry Steer is also a chief, so he has also been a mentor, so that has been an interesting relationship as well. Sometimes we need to, like, we're not talking about work anymore, and then we can move on. But I think the biggest thing is, like we said, representation matters a lot. It means support and validation. It shows what is possible. It helps to break stereotypes, and it creates a sense of belonging. So thank you, La Familia, for acknowledging that and for giving us that, that little step out there to show that how important it is. Of course, thank you for my NLPOA, National Peace Officers Association, Latino Peace Officers Association, for being my family. They're over there and here. Thank you so much. Yes. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am without their support. And thank you for the award, for recognizing the importance of community and the importance of law enforcement in the community, and for celebrating the journey that we're all in. Thank you.
Well, that's LeSueur. We have to make a trip over there, right? Road trip, Rico. Put that down. Have a couple of beers. I don't think we'll get any tickets, will we? Or La Familia, remember La Familia? They'll say La Familia. Who's that? Anyway, thank you very much, and it's wonderful to have you here. You know, our next presentation goes to a very special organization, U.S. Bank. We've had a great relationship with the bank all these years, and tonight, during Hispanic Heritage Month, I thought we really look at the partnership with the Latino community. Where did it start? When did it start? And tonight we want to tell that story briefly of that partnership. In June 2001, U.S. Bank launched a comprehensive initiative to become the best bank in America for Hispanics. The best bank in America for Hispanics. Strategies focused on critical first steps in engaging branch employees and developing action plans in branches serving Hispanic markets. The key elements align branch staffing to reflect the local market composition by hiring Spanish-speaking employees. Community involvement, building local partnerships, and sponsoring local community events. Also developing relationships with local and national Hispanic organizations. The key was to develop products and services to meet the unique needs of the Hispanic community, and they urged their branch managers to understand what those unique needs were. U.S. Bank marketers, in order to reach Hispanic consumers, needed to learn about the rich diversity as well as the Hispanic cultural pride, the Spanish language, and their family values. Our company, I'm proud to say, played a role in the 2001 initiative. At that time, in 2001, U.S. Bank marketing managers were attending our Hispanic marketing conferences, which our company launched in 1997 in Minneapolis. They were learning about the U.S. Hispanic market from our presenters, who represented the leading agencies in the country, the leading Hispanic agencies in the country, right here in the cities. As I mentioned before in my remarks, marketers didn't have to travel to Dallas, Los Angeles, or Miami. Our conferences brought those experts right here. And that year, U.S. Bank hired our company in finding an Hispanic agency of record, which they did successfully. In 2007, U.S. Bank became a presenting sponsor of our Hispanic marketing conferences, as well as La Familia. Our conferences were drawing hundreds of marketing professionals each year, from Fortune 500 to mid and small businesses here in the Twin Cities and outstate. The conferences promoted the buying power of the U.S. Hispanic market. Imagine having a sponsor who said to Minnesota and the Twin City community, all of the leading corporations you have here, Hispanic marketing is a good business. These are wonderful consumers, and you should want to be involved with them. I think it was a great message by U.S. Bank, but also a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for Minnesota and their corporations to take advantage of that. I continue to be amazed at the programs and services designed to help achieve the financial goals of the community. Rico? Here are these wonderful programs. And I think we have in Spanish and English. These are wonderful programs to meet your financial goals. These are still being delivered by U.S. Bank. Also, U.S. Bank has Latino staffing in all facets of their operation. Here with us tonight is Renee Madrid, Vice President and Branch Manager of the U.S. Bank on East Lake Street, across from the global market. The bank is a prototype for their new branch banks and features many wonderful new elements for their customers, as well as a wonderful community meeting space. Renee and his team are an example of the community involvement of U.S. Bank, sponsoring, attending, and participating in community events throughout the Twin Cities. Ana Mea is here tonight. She is also leads the U.S. Bank Nosotros Latinos, BRG. They were awarded the Employer Resource Group of the Year by the Minnesota Latino Chamber of Commerce. And my good friend, Jose Martinez, who's the branch manager, president branch manager of St. Paul Payne Avenue Bank, who's very involved in the East Side community. And it's been wonderful working with Jose all these years. So tonight, we are pleased to present the La Familia Latino Heritage Award to U.S. Bank, a wonderful partner to the Latino community. Here to accept the award, Jose Martinez. In recognition, oh yeah, we got a hug, man. Right. You know us Latinos. In recognition of U.S. Bank and their initiatives that offer resources to help Latino communities, families, and businesses reach their financial goals. Also for your proactive hiring of Latino employees who work in all facets of your bank and serve as volunteers with various community organizations and causes. Therefore, with the appreciation and respect of the Latino community in Minnesota, this commendation is presented to U.S. Bank. Rico?
Thank you, Rick, for walking next to me on this amazing journey. Thank you for your partnership, friendship, and teachings. I'm so happy for meeting with you for the first time like 20 years ago. And your project, Aguilar Production, was just a baby. So it has been very fun to see you growing. And then in the meantime, I'm here keeping losing my hair. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us at this amazing event. Thank you to my kids, Isabel and Aaron, for the motivation to keep me going. And I really hope they are in bed right now because tomorrow they have to go to school. So I feel honored, proud, and very grateful representing U.S. Bank as we receive this incredible honor. Thank you, and I feel honored, and this is not just an award, this is a reflection of our commitment, our values, and our dedication to the communities we serve. On behalf of all Minnesota market leader that is here present, Anna Dawson, and our district manager, Ross Johnson, my peers and friends, Nancy, Anna Maya, Renee, Neri, Brian, Kathy Lupke, Tumua, Armando, and their family that are here with us. And on behalf of the entire U.S. Bank team, I'm very humbled to accept this recognition. At U.S. Bank, we understand that our strength lies in our diversity. We believe in the power of the unity and the richness that comes from embracing people from all backgrounds. Whatever is true, our support and involvement with Hispanic, Latino, Asian, Black, LGBTQ, and many other communities, we are committed to fostering an environment of inclusion. We strive to create spaces where everyone feels important and valued. These values are reflected in how we serve our communities, our customers, employees, shareholders, and business partners. 3 years ago, U.S. Bank created and developed a group of initiatives called Access Commitment that is dedicated support that underserved communities to help them build wealth, increase access to the home buying process, and help the small business owners, especially the Latino ones. Ultimately, our goal is to ensure that everyone has access to the tools, resources, and network that allows them to thrive in ways that are valuable and important to their personal and business goals. In addition, I want to take a moment to honor our military, veteran, and police officers. Their service and sacrifice inspire us to live with purpose and to give back to those who have given so much. We hold them in the highest regard. This award belongs to all of us, our community, our team, and everyone who believes in the values of equality, diversity, and inclusion. We are proud to stand with you today, and we are even more committed to the work that lies ahead. Thank you for this honor. Together, we will continue to empower and build a brighter future for all of us. Thank you. Have a great night.
whole lot of reading going on tonight, folks. That's I haven't read this much in a while. But we again want to really thank the efforts of guys like Jose that, you know, I've kept in touch with him through the years. And it's been an amazing responsibility too with Jose and his family and much of the work that has gone on with the bank business. It's been tough with the COVID and all that, but I think that in the end, the relationship with that bank has been a real great asset. We want to thank you again. One of our goals here at La Familia Enduring Hispanic Heritage Month is honoring our artists. We have so many great artists here, not only in the cities, but throughout the country. In the past, we've honored Armando Gutierrez, of course, our friend Jimmy Longoria, and the great Ruben Trejo, who was born right here on the West Side Flats and went on to create international art and sculpture. His work is all throughout the world, and we were able to honor here Ruben before he passed a few years ago. So tonight, we're honoring a good friend and a special friend. Steve Capiz is a lifelong friend. We grew up together and attended Humboldt High School in St. Paul. His success as an artist is the story of the American dream and the opportunity that our amazing country offers to all who dare to dream. This evening, I want to read from an article written by R. Trujillo, a great art reporter, who wrote the article in support of the paintings of Stephen Capiz, a show at Creative Arte, Latino's Art Center and Museum in Minneapolis. Stephen is a volunteer for the nonprofit Creative Arte, promoting and teaching art to Latino youth. Here's the article. Stephen Capiz paints in an energetic contemporary style with strong colors, gestural streaks, and atmospheric overlays. His work often reflects experiences with his family, his childhood, lifelong friends, his service in the Navy, and his world travels as an adult. He is a masterful painter with strong influences from his former mentors, Southwestern artist Veloy Vigil, nationally renowned artist, sculptor Ruben Trejo, and local artist Roman Gomez. Stephen studied at the Minneapolis College of Art and Design. His images draw deeply from his Latino culture and infused with the distinct flavor of a little-known corner of Old St. Paul. Stephen grew up in St. Paul as a member of one of the first Mexican-American families in the city. He recalls his childhood days living among Mexican, Jewish, and Lebanese immigrants as part of the long-gone River Flats community. There, a storefront church adorned with Catholic saints stood next to neighborhood synagogues. Kids played Frisbee style with dry bagels and tortillas and swam in the Mississippi River. This was an economically poor but culturally rich barrio from which emerged many creative and curious youngsters who today count among the elite of local arts and business people. As a child, Steve would build models of World War II fighter planes and ships from whatever scraps and debris he found. This led to an interest in sculpture and art that blossomed in his adult years. Through his decades of painting, he has created both realistic and abstract works with a worldly, modernist attitude. His prolific painter His work can be found at the Hilton and Westin Hotels, Northwest College, as well as in the hands of collectors throughout the world. Capiz Studios is located in Northeast Minneapolis Arts District, and continues to produce and create his art, looking forward, onward to new visions and horizons. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to present the La Familia Latino Heritage Award to Stephen Capiz. Stephen. In recognition of your commitment to your Latino heritage, culture, and community, and your masterful dedication to your art, drawing deeply from your Mexican-American roots, also for bringing enjoyment to art lovers and collectors from around the world. You are a source of pride. Therefore, with the appreciation and respect of the Latino community in Minnesota, this commendation is presented to Stephen Capiz, artist extraordinaire. Stephen.
Well, thank you very much for being here tonight. I appreciate it all. We've been here in Minnesota for a long time, maybe 120 years. My family's been here. All the men in our family are military veterans, including myself. I was U.S. Navy. But I'd like to thank the Navy for helping me get through this art world. But it's been a long haul, and we lived we were never poor. Well, if we were, I didn't know it. All I know is I had a good life all the time growing up, and met really good people like my friend Rich and others that we all hung around together when we were younger. And I chose abstract art because I found it in a magazine when I was a kid. Didn't know what it was. I loved it. So I just started to follow that direction. So that's what I do. You know, I know people ask me once in a while if I'm Mexican. I say, yes, I am. Well, where's your murals? Well, I don't do murals. I do what I do. And that's all I can tell you right now. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. And you have a good night and a safe ride home.
Hey, Steve, I'll stop by the studio for my painting tomorrow. Are you open tomorrow? Or I'll be over there, man. Don't. Oh, beautiful, Steve. Thank you. Okay, folks. We have a great story here this evening for our final presentation, and we're honoring a newspaper that has been in the business 28 years, La Voz Latina, and we have an amazing story behind how that paper started. I've known Tim Spitzek here, and no, he's not Latino. I've known Tim Spitzek for many years, a young entrepreneur, and I believe back then in 1997, Tim, you had just purchased the newspaper, the St. Paul Voice, which is one of the great community newspapers in the Twin Cities, by the way. I think it's been around since 1960s. And Tim purchased the paper, and I lived in that neighborhood. I was very active in community affairs. I believe I was on the Smith Avenue Business Association, but I invited Tim particularly to want to be there. And we have some photos here from the conference. This is our first conference in 1997. We were at the wonderful Regal Hotel in Minneapolis. I believe it was across from the Hyatt. It's changed hands many times. But let's stop there. Here's a young Rick Aguilar there with but I want to pay a special attention. We had some of the leading speakers are Bob Loretta on I think it's on my left. Yeah, he was one of the icons in Hispanic marketing at the time from Miami. They had written the Blue Book. That was the Hispanic marketing Bible that everyone was using, anyone getting involved with Hispanic marketing. And we also had next to me Carlos Garcia, who was at one of the leading research agencies in the country. So at that event, my good friend here, how about a hand for Rico? He's been taking photos, he's running the AV, and he's everything, man. He's going to help me clean up afterwards, and and we might even get a drink at the St. Paul Grill. By the way, is the bar still open? I hope. Anyway, well, getting back to, I had met Rico. Rico was at the conference working for a marketing agency, I believe. And you always say you actually paid to get in. I remember you always tell me I actually paid to get in. But so somehow together, Rico met Tim during one of our networking times that we had at the event. And I'm going to ask Rico, because there is a story here, folks. I'm getting to it. So they're both at the Hispanic Marketing Conference, our first one, and Rico's going to fill us in on what happened between him and Tim.
You can see Tim Spitzak on second on the right. And who is the guy in the middle with the beard?
Yeah, well.
I shaved. I've been doing Hispanic marketing for a few years. By 1997, I started very young. And I had gone by then to marketing conferences in Miami, in LA, New York, some in Dallas. And when I saw that there was a Hispanic marketing conference in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, I mean, are you kidding? Who's putting this together? I signed up. I paid full price. And I showed up at the conference, excited, and it was a great conference. At the conference, I met a lot of people. It was really great to see something that I've been doing for a few years in Minnesota, officially Hispanic marketing going on in Minnesota. I met Rick Aguilar then. And after I met Rick, I told him about me, and I gave him my business card. I told him what I do. I have a little agency, marketing agency. He said, "Oh yeah, you know what? Why don't you need to meet Tim Spitzak, and here's Tim." And he made the introduction. The next slide, Tim actually and I sat down in this beautiful setting downtown Minneapolis. There we go. By that window, and had a conversation. That was the birth of La Voz Latina. We talked and we decided, okay, I can help Tim start this new publication. I'm very proud and very glad that I was part of it for the first year, help him. I found him talent to work on it. He had the vision to start a great Latino Spanish language publication that goes home to home. And this is what happens at Rick's conferences. He introduces people. He just met me. He trusted me and said, well, why don't you meet this guy, Tim Spitzak? We had this great conversation, and that was the birth of La Voz Latina.
Wow. So with that in mind, we're going to bring up Tim Spitzak. And by the way, Tim has a publishing company, St. Paul Publishing, and they have several other papers. So Tim is doing great work. Tim Spitzak, ladies and gentlemen. Tim, in recognition of La Voz Latina, the Spanish language newspaper founded in 1997 that informs Latinos with community news, events, and celebrates the accomplishments of individuals and organizations. Also for promoting the Latino culture, family, and love of country. Therefore, with the appreciation and respect of the Latino community in Minnesota, this commendation is presented to La Voz Latina, St. Paul Publishing Company. Tim? We're getting the picture.
Photographer. We have a new photographer. Higher, higher.
Well, I guess first of all, I hope she photoshopped those other pictures onto this one that we just took. So it looked a lot younger back in those days, didn't we? And I think Rico's beard jumped to me now. So. All right, well, first of all, I'd like to, on behalf of my entire staff, thank Rick Aguilar and Aguilar Productions for this award. It truly is an honor. But of course, this award belongs to all the people that have contributed to La Voz Latina over the past 28 years. I really have been blessed to work with a lot of talented people who believe in community journalism. And I really have to acknowledge one person in particular, and that's Leonor Villasuso. Russ said she's here with us tonight. Please stand up and wave quick. So if you've read La Voz Latina at all, you'll be familiar with her work. She's a very talented writer, reporter, and her byline really all over the paper. If that's still up, you'll probably see it in a couple of places there. So she, native of Mexico, has lived in the United States now, is a citizen now, and she just is such a joy to work with, very talented, and we really could not do this without her. So again, thank you so much for being part of our team. Of course, as you can imagine, over the years, a lot of people ask me why I, Anglo, started a Latino newspaper. And I'll just tell you a real brief story. So that the impetus really started in 1997 when I was attending a school board meeting on the west side. I was covering it for the St. Paul Voice, one of my other newspapers. And it was a contentious meeting. They were trying to oust the principal at the time at Humboldt, if you remember that, Rick. And I was really shocked since so many people had to have an interpreter to address the school board. And it's really at that point that I realized, you know, we're printing English, or our paper in English, delivering it to the west side, which, as I think most are aware, it's really the oldest and most established Latino neighborhood of the Twin Cities. And I realized we're really not reaching a big segment of our audience by just printing in English. So we decided to start La Voz Latina, and you heard the story where it went from there. The mission of our newspaper group has always been to inspire, entertain, and inform. Of course, inform is the biggest one with the community newspaper. And one thing with La Voz Latina that I think we can all feel proud of that have worked for it is I believe it's really helped people assimilate and acculturate into our Twin Cities society here, including those. I think we had at least 2 snow days this year, so we do have a few more. And then also to celebrate the Latino heritage. People that have lived here, as you're aware, the West Side has 3rd, 4th generation Latino families, and this has really helped them kind of connect with the culture. One thing I always remember at Rick's first conference, when they talked about should we print in Spanish, it was the language of the heart. So that's really always stuck with me. And we're happy and proud to do that. So again, I appreciate Rick for the award, and we really work hard to be a community newspaper, and we believe that, you know, whatever nationality we are, we're all community. So, thank you.
Well, that's our program, folks, and I want to ask all the award recipients, we're going to get a group photo, please. Before you leave. Well, what a night, huh? I was working extra duty on all the copy we read, but you know that's what we do. You know, we're not about. I've been to some award shows where there's a 30-second introduction of somebody, and you know sometimes they don't even let the recipient speak. And we've been there. No, that's not really what we want to do. We want to share the love of the Hispanic culture, but also the efforts of the individuals and organizations. Going after that Hispanic market, it's elusive. I've known many companies, in 28 years, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say, every Fortune 500 company in this Twin Cities area has sponsored our event. Every one. And most of them would leave, and I would work with them, and they would start an outreach program. But they were looking for a quick ROI, and it didn't happen. So a lot of companies never stayed with that market. And I'm proud to say that companies like Comcast here, Telemundo, of course, they are the market, and our friends at U.S. Bank, they're committed to not only the marketplace, but to who we are. Committed to our success. And with that, I want to thank everyone. And we'll be back next year. Next year is our 22nd. But also next year, it'll be our 29th annual Hispanic Marketing Conference. And we're already planning for that by bringing in some of the top experts again, as we've been fortunate to do. So with that, we're going to get a photo of our folks here with the awards. But I really want to thank everybody. It's been a fun night. The entertainment was simply amazing. And hey, Hispanic Heritage Month, we still have a couple more weeks, so let's make it happen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
We are going to play this tune. It's called La Jaibera. This is the girl that goes to the sea and catches all kinds of seafood.
La jaibera yo soy, quiero que me compre usted la jaiba que ahora pesqué para hacer el quimbombo. En mi cesto traigo yo, acabada de pescar, sardinillas, boquerones y una jaiba regular. Si te quieres convencer, todo te voy a enseñar que la jaiba se parece a la mujer. En mi cesto traigo yo, acabada de pescar, sardinillas, boquerones y una jaiba regular. Si te quieres convencer, todo que voy a enseñar que la jaiba se parece a la mujer.
Yo traigo sabrosa jaiba, revuelta con camarón, pastel con pescadito y un platillo de frijol. Si quieres comer jaibita, acabada de pescar, ven conmigo a mi casita, que te voy a convidar, que te pica la jaiba donde mamá. La jaibera se va y no volverá. Que te pica la jaiba donde mamá. La jaibera se va, no volverá. Ay, 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 En mi cesto traigo yo, acabada de pescar, sardinillas, boquerones y una jaiba regular. Si te quieres convencer, todo que voy a enseñar que la jaiba se parece a la mujer. Yo traigo sabrosa jaiba, revuelta con camarón, pastel con pescadito y un platillo de frijol. Si quieres comer jaibita, acabada de pescar, ven conmigo a mi casita, que te voy a convidar, que te pica la jaiba donde mamá. La jaibera se va, no volverá. Que te pica la jaiba donde mamá. La jaibera se va, no volverá. Que te pica la jaiba donde
Gracias, gracias, gracias.